It's time for the Double J Podplex, where wrestling lives. So man up and step on in. For all your wrestling news and commentary, here are your hosts, Jeremy and Jimmy.
Hello! La la la! Start the show off with a Seinfeld reference there for you. Like I promised earlier, in the earlier episodes, we would do at least one Seinfeld reference, but, you know, I'm sure we can do as many as we want, really. But, anywho.
We do rule the airwaves.
Yeah, right.
We do rule the airwaves.
So, I am Jeremy, and as always, alongside me is my co-host Jimmy. Jimmy, what's going on, man?
Well, off the heels of a very unflattering Fastlane pay-per-view, if you ask me, you were not in the left lane, you were in the right lane, you know. Going slow with
slow lane.
The old geezers.
Right. You are listening to the Double J Podplex. Welcome to the show. So today, since I wasn't really able to watch much of the show, of the pay-per-view, Rover is moving over, and Jimmy is taking over today. And Jimmy's going to kind of take the lead guitar on this one, and I'll just stick with the rhythm.
See, I'm not used to that, man. I'm more of a supporting character.
Right.
You know, you could check me out, you know, on a couple different HBO shows that I was involved in. You know, Game of Thrones. I was a supporting actor in that. More of an extra.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, amen. But more of an extra, as well as True Detective. I was Mickey. My name was Mickey in that. So you can look it up on IMDb. If it's there, that's some incredible shit. But you know, whatever. Getting back to Fastlane.
Fastlane
is advertised as the fast track to WrestleMania.
Which seemed like it was a slow lane, like you said earlier.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the last stop before Mania, and it set up some storylines, but as a pay-per-view, it needs to be banished.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't that great.
No.
Heard a lot of complaints.
But however,
airing of grievances.
Yeah, amen. We started, you know, with the pre-show, of course, and it was a cruiserweight pre-show, which you would have thought spelled disaster, but it didn't. You had Rich Swann and Tozawa against the Brian Kendrick and Noam Dar. Noam Dar, of course, being the newest fling of Alicia Fox.
Right.
Tried really, really hard not calling her Alicia Keys.
Really hard.
Oh, dude. But anyways, the match itself was okay. It started slow. However, due to Rich Swann's athleticism, and due to Brian Kendrick's cockiness, and due to the fans being fully invested with Tozawa, you know, doing his chant and everything, really being hyped with him, it took a good turn towards the end.
Okay.
So, of course, Tozawa and Rich Swann beating Kendrick and Noam Dar, and keeping at least a little intrigue in the lower levels of the cruiserweights right now.
Right.
So, it's one of those matches. It was good towards the end. It was more of a Raw match, hence the pre-show title.
Right. Absolutely.
So, you know, it's one of those things we don't really need to
cover too much about.
No, really.
I mean, you know, and it's like I said before, I think the cruiserweights, you know, I like the idea. I like the whole, you know, because for a while, WWE wasn't really doing much of cruiserweights until they brought, the cruiserweight division in, and I heard 205 Live really isn't, I heard Vince isn't really a big fan.
Yeah, I had heard that as well. I mean, I don't know, I feel like Vince is getting old and just mean. He may be
just getting old and cranky,
He's a hater. But, with that said, moving right along, the main card kicked off with an interesting little matchup with Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn.
Okay.
Joe being, having the Destroyer moniker against a always underdog Sami Zayn.
Right.
And did you actually see a little bit of that?
I didn't see enough to really say much about it. I saw Sami Zayn get choked out.
Right.
That's pretty much all I saw.
Well, yeah. Zayn loses, but I actually think they did it pretty well.
Okay.
They had Zayn go down fighting and put up a hell of a fight.
Right.
And you still had Joe winning, but I don't know. I feel like you need to go a little bit further to make him look like the Destroyer. Although he does lean on the whole injuring Seth Rollins thing quite often, so I feel like that. I feel like that helps him moving forward. It's going to obviously be some type of feud between himself and Stephanie and Triple H and everything going down.
I don't think Sami Zayn gets enough pushes. I'm curious when they're gonna really kind of push him a lot,
Well, I mean, the fans are behind him, which is a good start.
Yes.
But yeah, you're right. He was one of the most popular in NXT. It was made to look like a big star in NXT.
Yeah.
So you would assume that he would get some type of significant push instead of just being a punching bag, so to speak, who gets his ass kicked but doesn't give up. So the not allowing Sami Zayn to get squashed was pretty great. I was happy with that. Mm-hmm. And Samoa Joe, there's a lot more on the horizon.
Yes, yeah, I'll agree with that too, yeah.
But they made Sami Zayn look a little bit like a stepping stone, but it could have been done worse. It could have been a much worse.
Yes, it could have. It could have.
So, moving right along with that, we'll be talking about Joe, I'm sure, in the next episode when it gets closer to Mania.
Right.
But, that's about how that goes. The next match kicked off the card with a, huge eruption when Enzo and Big Cass came out to face Gallows and Anderson in the tag team title match. Solid match. Quite a few times looked like Enzo and Cass could win.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
It made it believable challenges, not just, catchphrases anymore.
Yeah,
So that was an important thing. The only thing that's confusing, I don't know if they're noticeably pushing Cass the way they should be.
I think they should.
Yeah,
at some point.
I think they're trying to figure out what the ceiling for Enzo is.
Right.
And if he doesn't become that great of a wrestler, he could just be a manager or like a Paul Heyman. I mean, there's not enough managers to go around.
Right.
So he may fall into that type of role. But anyway, that's another story for another day. But
yeah.
The match itself was good. You had Gallows and Anderson win like heels do. They win, and you had a lasting moment when, as soon as Anderson got the pin, he immediately jumped out the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was it was pretty funny. You could tell that they're setting up more matches between the two teams, and with the assumption that Enzo and Cass win at Mania.
Yeah.
And getting the huge eruption that they should.
Right.
But yeah, that's about what I'm looking at with that.
Okay, yeah, I can see that for sure.
Right.
For sure, yeah. I'm curious as to when they'll kind of, split those two up and put Big Cass on his own, because I think he could really do some good stuff, at a single career, or solo career. I mean.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think he's setting up for something major. Vince loves him, because he's another big guy, and that's Vince's prototype, so to speak. But it's you put in the Bullet Club, or the Club, or Gallows and Anderson, or whatever the hell they call them.
Yeah.
Although they are still the tag team champions, they're not really that validated because of the fact that Roman Reigns beat them 2-on-1 at Raw. That's terrible.
Yeah,
that's
that is
horrible booking.
Yeah, and here we are, talking about Reigns and the bad booking, but we'll discuss that once we get on that topic of
correct.
In the Fastlane card.
Of course. A horse is a horse, of course. Going to the next match, I don't know if I'm alone in this, but I don't really like Nia Jax. I'm going to come out with that. Yeah, she's strong and she's a dominant woman, and you need something like that. But you had a match with, Sasha Banks and Nia Jax, although with Banks winning with the roll up.
Yeah, the little roll up pinch you did. Yeah, that I saw. I did see that.
I actually did like that. So,
yeah.
But I don't know. I'm getting a little tired of Nia Jax. It's just
it's a little stale. It's definitely stale.
Well, it's just it seems to be not lame booking. I'm trying to think of lazy booking.
Okay, yeah.
It seems to be lazy booking just to book somebody as they're big.
Right.
Right. And I will also bring that up in a match in a little while to another human being who I think is just lazy booking. But I don't even, honestly, man, look, this is the damn Double J Podplex.
It is.
We don't need to spend that much time on Nia Jax and Sasha Banks.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Although she is the boss.
She is the boss. The legit boss.
The legit boss. Whom I love. But we did hell with this. Onward.
We're onward and upward.
You had Jinder Mahal and Rusev backstage having a confrontation, each wanting single matches, because they are no longer a tag team.
Right.
Which I'm okay with. They don't need to be. They need to be their own competitors again.
Yeah.
One thing of note, before I even talk about their matches, is the fact that Jinder Mahal is enormous.
Jinder, okay, yeah. That's something I had noticed for a while, since he kind of came back on TV and all that stuff. Yeah, he just got big.
Yeah, he's a large man now.
He is big. I mean, he was one of the I think three wrestlers that were they did that
3MB.
No. I'm talking about something they did on YouTube. It was Jinder Mahal, Big E, and Braun Strowman. They did that workout video with your boy. I can't think of his name.
I really don't know.
Dude, he was like a bodybuilder from like the 80s. Dude, they worked out with him and like they lifted ridiculous weight, and to include Jinder Mahal in that, I guess kind of speaks volumes,
Well, I mean, if he's liked in the locker room, he's going to probably stick around for a while.
If I think of his name, I'll bring it up later in the show.
Yeah, of course, by all means. Well, getting back to their matches itself, it's very underwhelming, as you would assume. I mean, it was lazy booking. It just seemed like they wanted to waste some time because Raw is nowhere near as good as SmackDown.
Right.
However, having Jinder Mahal versus Cesaro, good. Really, the match itself was not bad. It just, I don't know, is whatever. I gotta pee, so I'm going to the bathroom during this match and whatever. Because you know what the outcome's going to be. It's going to be Cesaro beating Jinder Mahal being upset. Later on, you're going to have Jinder Mahal versus Rusev, probably at Mania. I don't know. It just seems like they don't know what the hell else to do with them. Later on, Rusev comes in after Jinder Mahal loses, beats the hell out of him, and, all of a sudden, you hear what was probably the best moment of these segments was the Big Show and his entrance coming on down.
The Big Show.
Seeing the Big Show come back, who is... he's solid now, man. He did a hell of a work on his body.
I tell you what, I see his posts on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And that dude really leaned out a whole lot. And he looks great. He looks awesome.
It's a shame that the match with him and Shaq at Mania may not happen.
Right.
But I think, and this hurts me to say that, because, I love me some Shaq.
Yeah, who doesn't?
I think he may be out of shape, and Big Show is not.
Yeah. That may be it. Yeah. That may be it.
You had Big Show beating Rusev, and I guess the only saving grace for Rusev is that he gave him 3 choke slams. Choke slammed him 3 times to beat him. Now, He didn't need to.
Right.
He only needed 1, but he decided to do it, 3 times, whatever.
Did he give him any knockout punches?
No, there was no knockout punches. There was no knockout punches. But what there was, Rusev kicked the hell out of Big Show 3 times to finally put the big man on the ground.
On the ground, right.
Of course, wrestling is like fairy tales right now where the good guys win. So, that's about as far as that went. It wasn't really anything to write home about. Now, one thing I will say, in my opinion, the match of the night was the match for the Cruiserweight Championship. My boy Jack Gallagher.
Dude.
Adrian Neville.
That match I saw. That was an incredible match. I'll go ahead and say best match of the card.
Yeah, I believe so too. I believe it certainly was. You had just 2 high-flying guys who, could do whatever. The Phoenix, the Red Arrow, to put Jack Gallagher away at the end was incredible.
Yeah.
And
that move is awesome.
I do like the fact that Neville doesn't do it all the time now.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he does do it in big events like this, kinda. I think that's a nice thing to his character. But the thing that I don't think is talked about enough is just simply the uniqueness to Jack Gallagher's character and Jack Gallagher's style. Just his style in the ring is about as unique as it comes. He was headbutting him.
Those headbutts are awesome.
How often do you get headbutts in this WWE?
Right.
But no, I will say match of the card. I would say match of Fastlane.
When you have the crowd chanting "This is awesome,"
oh yeah,
that speaks for itself,
Yeah, of course. And it was truly awesome. If there's one match you actually want to sit down and watch from Fastlane, go check out Jack Gallagher, Adrian Neville. Excuse me, Neville, because we don't remember first names.
Right.
And when you leave NXT to come to WWE, we don't remember first names. So whatever. But match of the card for sure. And the Cruiserweight division, although I hate on it a lot, is getting better. As far as character-wise, Jack Gallagher obviously helped out. So did Neville. But the way they're transforming the Cruiserweight division, it's almost like they heard the podcast. It's almost like they heard.
I hope they did. I hope they did hear us.
I want some residuals, but one thing I do also want to bring up: the New Day came out. First of all, the New Day being wasted, and I hate it. But they are still a very comical trio, obviously.
Yes, for sure.
And they are your host of WrestleMania 33.
There you go.
So I think that's incredible. It's going to set a tone. And finally, you have a host that is actually on the main roster, not a celebrity of old, like The Rock, etc., Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
who they bring just to be the host of WrestleMania. You actually have the New Day, who is a current, tag team, to be your host, and I think that's cool. The only thing that I didn't like about this segment is that they did not call the ice cream booty cream.
Booty.
They didn't. I could have
Booty
swore,
cream.
because they have obviously booty-O's, booty juice. Why would that have not been booty cream?
Well, I think just because New Day Pops just kind of it.
New Day Pops is good.
New Day Pops, it just kind of.
Well, yeah.
I guess it makes sense.
You can still do boo-tea cream.
Boo-tea cream.
Love the New Day. They need to fix them. They need to figure something out with them eventually. You can't just, hey, we're going to let the New Day come out, entertain you, and then go back. Although, they may attempt to do that for a while. But anyways, moving right along, speeding down the track on Fastlane, we're going to Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman. Decent match, but a little bit of a snore fest as well. Yeah,
and I agree on both parts right there. What you said.
It's like the match itself wasn't bad, but it just, the way Fastlane was, doesn't seem like there was a lot of dips.
Fastlane did have many speed bumps. No pun intended.
That was good. That was good.
Right, yeah.
I tell you what, if ESPN's listening, you need to sign this guy.
Yeah, very speed bumps. Like I said, it just had a lot of speed bumps in it, and just kind of seemed like it just kind of dragged at times.
Mm-hmm.
But the Reigns and Strowman match wasn't horrible.
No, it wasn't a bad match.
I guess it could have been worse, but I think what I guess may have made it horrible, quote unquote, is just like the whole hating on Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, Braun Strowman, he's a big dude, so it's like, he can only do so much. Just for being a big guy.
You're having Roman Reigns beat someone who no one else has beaten.
Right.
You're having Roman Reigns beat the Club 2-on-1.
Yeah.
Who is actually beloved by the people who boo him.
Right.
Why in God's name are you doing this? It is booking, truly doing this just to piss off the fans. That's it.
I think we need to ask Vince McMahon. Maybe we can.
We'll get him on the show.
Yeah. What we could do? We could log on to our Twitter account.
Yes.
And we can tweet him. Like, hey.
Delete.
Right. Yeah. Delete. Just the whole Fastlane.
More on that at the end of the podcast. But more of the delete. But no, you're right. I think the thing with Braun Strowman, it was a match where people dislike Reigns.
Yes.
People are bored by Strowman.
Yes.
Why am I watching this match?
And that mixture isn't really a good mixture.
No, it's not good for a match. It was good to see two big guys slug it out.
Yeah.
Okay? If they didn't have names attached to them.
Right.
But their disdain for Reigns right now is almost past Cena level.
Yeah.
I
it is.
really believe
it
that.
Is. I'll go ahead and say it is.
And I don't dislike Reigns. I think
Reigns I like Reigns. That's
what I'm saying.
I've said it before. I like Roman Reigns. I like his character. I think he does great work in the ring. I mean, obviously he's not like, like an AJ Styles.
No, he's not the phenomenal one.
He's not the phenomenal one. But for what he is, I think he does well.
Yeah, no, I do too. However, it's just the booking that I think has hurt him a lot. And he can come back from it But I think at this point, it is the only possibility of saving Roman Reigns' character is
turning him heel.
Correct.
Turn him heel. Vince, listen to this, okay? Turn him heel. It just makes sense. I mean, the majority of the WWE Universe boos him anyway. I mean, I don't. If I was at a live show, I wouldn't. But turn him heel. That's all you gotta do.
Well, we're in the day and age of, and I think CM Punk pretty much started this, of cheering the heel.
Yeah.
Think about Kevin Owens, AJ Styles. I mean, you cheer the heel. There's no one legitimately booing AJ Styles.
There isn't, no.
Doesn't exist.
No.
But the thing you also got to think about, saying turn Roman heel. Okay, yeah, that would save him. But do they even care about changing his character? Do they care that he gets booed or not?
I don't know.
I mean, at this point, you have him, you know how much the crowd dislikes him and despises him, and it's getting worse and worse. Why do you continue to do it? It has to be because you just don't give a damn.
Right.
And that's a little bit deeper than I care to really get, but getting to Strowman, you had mentioned he's just a really big guy.
Yeah.
Well, getting back to my point about Nia Jax, that's the same way I feel.
Yep.
Strowman, and he's an enormous person, booked horribly, booked very lazily.
Yeah.
Booked as a big guy.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, it's like I said, they're like him and Nia Jax, they're big. So that they're just, I feel they're limited to what they can do.
Right. Right. Well, and I think it also, you're not giving them enough training in other areas because, hey, you're big, that's what you're being booked on.
Yeah.
If you look at Strowman, and I have a couple times on his Twitter feed and Instagram and this and that, he's always around people from the locker room.
Yeah.
He seems like a genuinely funny guy.
Yeah.
I don't know why the hell they don't, I don't know, give him a little chance to be a little bit more than just a big guy. But yet again, that's, stupid booking. Raw is crap. What else you want to say? I mean, Raw is being saved by the gentleman we'll be mentioning in a minute. But you got to give him a little bit of slack because of no Rollins or Finn.
Yeah.
But it's just too big of a difference just to give them that easy out of you don't have Finn and Rollins. And Shaq actually just came on the TV here.
He
Double
did.
J Podplex.
Yeah, he did.
Speaking of that, I think he senses us talking about him, and he's actually talking about an insurance company, The General.
TheGeneral.com.
So maybe that means that the Big Show would need insurance after messing with Shaq.
Ooh. I think you may be onto something there, Jim.
I think I cracked the code.
You cracked it.
The code breaker.
The code breaker, that's right.
But,
it's
getting kind of back to it, I think the thing that really saved Raw, outside of Kevin Owens and Jericho's friendship, and now the betrayal, is our new WWE Universal Champion, Mr. Bill Goldberg.
And I remember I saw, this is kind of a little off subject, but not really. I remember when Goldberg first made his appearance on Raw, and Michael Cole, introduced him as the most, I can't remember, I think he said it was the most successful, the greatest WCW champion of all time, Goldberg. And I'm like, I mean, no.
I don't know about that.
No.
No,
I don't believe.
I mean, I would have chosen the man called Sting.
Sting? What about Flair?
Luger was a good one.
What Flair?
Well, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, WCW champion? Yeah. For sake of not getting a crap load of hate mail, Flair. Let's go Flair. Let's go Flair. I'll save myself and just go Flair. If you want to have a conversation about that later, we'll talk about Sting.
Right, yeah. That's for another day. Yeah.
In the message boards, we will, argue about that later. But the consensus is Flair, I believe, yeah. But Goldberg, Kevin Owens, I mean, who do you have going into it?
Who did I have?
Yeah.
Oh, I had Goldberg.
Right.
I knew he was going to win. Now, I didn't. I wasn't sure he was going to win in the style he did.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I realized how much time there was left of the pay-per-view itself, I said, "All right, well,
it's gonna be a squash.
Here it is. The spear, and then the jackhammer, and then 1, 2, 3."
Well, yeah, yeah.
And I had a feeling Jericho was going to come out that night.
Oh yeah, I believe so for sure. He and Owens are going to have a showdown at Mania. It's going to be. Great.
Oh, it'll be good. It's
going to be great for sure, man. Looking at the match itself, it was crap. The match itself wasn't that good.
No. I mean, what was it, like 22 seconds? I think it was.
Crazy.
Something stupid like that.
Goldberg is that dominant.
Right.
So it appeals to that. It makes him look almost unstoppable going into Mania.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens also showing his underhanded tactics, like jumping out of the ring, making Goldberg pace like a caged animal.
Yeah, which may have actually worked against Kevin Owens,
He may
so
have
to speak.
angered the Beast.
Right, exactly. I mean,
The new Beast incarnate. He may have angered the real Beast incarnate.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, the match itself, I mean, it wasn't much to really talk about. However, I never thought I'd be able to say Bill Goldberg is WWE champion again.
Right? Yeah, he is.
I thought those days were over.
He is.
And I just think that's great, man. I think it's good. It adds more flair. Woo!
Woo! Yeah, adds more flair. That's right.
To their WrestleMania main event.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, I guess another question is, it's expected that he will be losing it to Lesnar at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what I think, at least. So, if and when he loses, what happens with him? What do they do with Goldberg?
If Goldberg loses? I believe if he loses, or if he wins, I think the feud between he and Brock is done.
I would think.
I think everybody believes that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I think it ends in Mania. But he's still Bill frickin' Goldberg.
Right.
You could do any number of things with him after that. You could make it, I don't know, just spitballing, Goldberg and Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Goldberg and Strowman. I mean, whatever, if you want to. What I'm saying is there's options.
Right, yeah,
there's still options.
Yeah.
I take back Goldberg and Strowman. That'd be fucking horrible. Excuse me, my language.
Actually, I mean, I would prefer, well, I don't have to think about that. I'm not sure which one I prefer between Goldberg and Reigns or Goldberg and Strowman. I'm not sure which one I'd prefer.
Yeah. Poor Raw, man. Like, how do you compete with SmackDown having
AJ
Cena,
Styles,
Orton, Ziggler, Baron Corbin, Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt.
Dude, I hope Baron Corbin. He's fighting
Dean
Ambrose for the IC title at Mania, right? I would think
it's gonna happen. I don't know if it's set in stone, but it's believed to happen.
I hope he wins.
I think he will.
I really do. And I agree. I think he will, but I really do hope he does win. I really think he deserves it. I love his finisher, the end of days.
Oh, dude. The end of days
awesome.
is incredible.
Just awesome.
His character, the lone wolf, is what big time wrestlers should be made of.
Right.
And I think his signature moves, the Deep Six and the End of Days, are two of the best. His character has, since NXT, developed quite well. I kind of want to see down the line a little bit. Of course, it's, cross promotion, but I kind of would like to see Baron Corbin versus Samoa Joe. Now,
that would be interesting.
There's a ways to get there. It's going to take a little ways. But yeah, I guess, Fastlane being in the rearview mirror, we can now concentrate on WrestleMania, and thank God, because who doesn't love WrestleMania? We have a while, about a month.
About a month.
Ready.
About a month.
Rumors of AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon.
Oh, that.
Yeah. AJ's
palm,
good enough
palm
to make
the
it
face.
work.
Palm the face.
Oh, basically.
Man. That's awful. That really is.
You're gonna take AJ Styles out of a actual match at Mania and put him against Shane.
No. No, no.
Talk about booking.
Jesus. That is horrible booking. Horrible. If that does end up happening, which I'm sure it will by the looks of it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
They're not going to have, Randy Orton not fight in the main event, after he won the Royal Rumble,
Right. What I would have been okay with is if there's still a way to do Wyatt versus Orton versus Harper. I think, first of all, that boosts Harper to a level that he deserves to be. A big-time player in the SmackDown, high card.
Mm-hmm.
Also, getting back to that, you saw Orton burning down the compound.
Right.
Or at least a shack that had Sister Abigail's grave supposedly underneath.
Yeah.
Two things about that. A eerie video was posted of Eric Rowan carrying a body. Could he have removed the body of Sister Abigail? If they're smart, this could be one of the best stories ever in wrestling.
You think so? The best story ever in wrestling?
It's deep.
It is deep. Yes, it is. It is deep.
Especially, think about this. Especially if the whole time Wyatt was actually playing Orton and not Orton playing Wyatt. What if Wyatt knew Orton was going to turn on him?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I think they're taking that direction as well.
Yeah.
And it's going to get interesting.
Yes.
And
I'm looking forward to that.
And see how much we just enjoyed talking about that? We don't have the same feeling for Raw.
No. I mean, Raw is obviously looked at as the
flagship.
The flagship, yeah, that's the word I'm saying. The flagship show. But right now SmackDown's killing it. It is killing it right now.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely. Oh, we forgot a match.
Yeah, we forgot Charlotte and Bayley. Yeah, I just realized that.
Holy crap, we forgot a match.
This is the second time we forgot a match.
Well, look,
discussing a pay-per-view.
Well, hey, we're still recording.
We are. We're still going.
So, Bayley and Charlotte. I honestly did not expect Bayley to win, due to the fact that they went out of their way to mention Charlotte's undefeated streak at pay-per-views. However, with Sasha Banks' little involvement in the match, unprovoked involvement, kind of teases a turn, or at least her involvement in the WrestleMania match for the title.
Right.
I could have swore that at the end of the match, when they were in the same ring, Sasha and Bayley, that she was going to turn on Bayley.
Yeah.
They may just be delaying it for whatever reason.
They might, yeah.
The match was, what we came to expect, or what we come to expect from Sasha Banks and Bayley. Jesus Christ. Charlotte and Bayley.
Charlotte, right.
What we came to expect from Charlotte and Bayley. Sasha and Bayley too. But
yeah.
What we come to expect, let me just keep it simple. What we come to expect from the women's division now.
Mm-hmm.
The women's division is now good wrestling.
Yes.
And it's what we come to expect. There was nothing really outlandish about the match. It was the norm as far as what they produce. So, Bayley winning, gotta love it.
Yeah.
Plus for me. But
Yeah. Okay. So I think they gave Bayley the belt too early.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
I think if Charlotte were to lose at a pay-per-view, I think it should have been WrestleMania.
Yeah, I agree.
And Bayley, the whole, like the female version of the Daniel Bryan
Daniel
story,
Bryan, yeah.
Bayley wins at Mania,
Right. And WrestleMania is where your dreams go to live or die. So I think that is hence Taker losing, which I think we may actually mention in every episode of this damn Podplex, is The Undertaker losing to Brock, which sucked.
oh man, yeah. That was bad. It was bad.
Still hurt. Still hurt. Still hurt. I need a safe space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bunch of pussies. Need a safe space. Need a safe space.
Safe space.
Go to the bathroom for a second. Go take a load off.
Yeah.
Need a safe space. Don't give me that shit. Anyways, sorry about that. Alright. Onward to WrestleMania. Talking about, Bayley winning too soon. I read a article, about a week ago or something on Bleacher Report, talking about how WWE rushes big moments.
Yeah, they do that sometimes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they certainly did with Bayley.
Yes.
And they've done it in a couple situations. In a lot of ways, I think they rushed it with Rich Swann with the Cruiserweight. I think they rushed into giving him the title.
Mm-hmm.
There was zero build to his character, and all of a sudden he's champion.
Right. And then he loses it quickly as well. So
Right. And then look at the club. They're underwhelming champions right now.
Yeah.
They are still the champions,
Yeah.
but they're very underwhelming with it.
Mm-hmm.
The only, honestly, solid champion outside of KO and AJ, of course. Well, of course, AJ is no longer the champion, but the only solid champion outside of that is Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
I think they also rushed to give Naomi the belt. I don't know that needed to happen yet. I think she does deserve it because she...
Oh, yeah. I thought she did, too. Yeah.
She deserves it because of how she reinvented her character.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I mean, seriously brilliant. I guess that's about all I got to say about that.
Right, yeah. So that was the last match, right?
Oh yeah, we're done with the
Fastlane
matches. But what I do want to do before we finish, I want to do the underrated, overrated.
Okay. And actually, I'd like to do something too before we finish it up. But go ahead.
Course. I have another thing to finish with. And it's going to be a goodie.
Okay.
Not an oldie, but a goodie. We do a little segment, as I said earlier, overrated, underrated.
Mm-hmm.
And let's start with our new champion. And this hurts to say, Bill Goldberg. Well, not saying he's champion hurts to say, but what I'm going to... Okay, I have to say it now because you can... Overrated.
Very overrated, yes.
Yeah,
very.
Yeah,
it's just all nostalgia. That's all it is.
It's nostalgia.
It's like we've seen this before.
Nostalgia.
And it's overrated for sure.
He will always be, you always want to see him.
Yeah.
When he comes out, his entrance, awesome. When you see him spear somebody, great.
Yeah.
Jackhammer, alright. Everything outside of that sucks.
It does.
And no offense to him.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
So, you're gonna go overrated as well?
Overrated as well.
Okay, well let's see. We did one, that's Raw. Let's go ahead to SmackDown. Let's go for Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
Who is our number one contender.
Yes. Let's see. I guess I'll go underrated.
You know, I feel like if this was a couple months ago, I would say overrated by a mile.
Yeah.
What he did in a storyline that was kind of like, WTF when he became a Wyatt family member. You thought it was a bad fit, didn't make any sense. He took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
Did not look out of place. Looked like he should have been part of that group. So I'm gonna go underrated as well. I think we're in agreement.
Yeah.
At least for now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, let's go ahead back to Raw.
Okay.
And let's go with Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens. Actually, no. Go ahead and answer this one first. I'm not too sure. I have to, kind of.
I am actually going to go underrated.
Underrated. Okay.
I'm going underrated because of the fact that he switched characters so abruptly and made it work. Notice how when he was with Jericho as best friends and shit like that, he was laughing, smiling, other stuff like that. Even though he was acting skittish of Goldberg, he still had that frown on his face, so to speak.
Yeah.
The mug face.
Yeah.
Smug face. I thought that was very, very respectful for him to be able to keep that character in multiple situations. And I think he can only get better. Because I think now you have him as the fighter. You can finally chant, "Fight Owens, fight" again.
Right, yeah. And I'll agree with you. I'll go ahead and say underrated as well.
Well, if only Congress and the Senate agreed as much as we do.
Right, yeah. Yes, indeed.
And let's finish overrated or underrated at SmackDown, since we have to do 2 and 2.
Okay.
Let's go with it's a long pause. Let's go with John Cena.
I'm gonna go ahead and say underrated.
I think
because I loved what he said to the Miz.
Yeah.
I'm not the Undertaker, but if you push me, I'll make you a dead man, or so something like that.
Yeah.
And that's like a reminder of how awesome John Cena is on the mic.
John Cena is incredible.
He's great on the mic.
However, because of the fact, which is actually not necessarily his fault, but it is because obviously he controls booking as well. Mm-hmm. Anybody who thinks he doesn't is crazy. But I believe I'm gonna go overrated.
Okay.
Due to the fact that it's John Cena at WrestleMania in a mixed tag match. Let that think. I can't speak. That's how pissed I am. Let that sink in.
Right.
Let that sink in.
Okay. All right. What do you think is wrong with that?
Well, it was actually okay with John Cena versus The Miz.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. There's just something about mixed tags for big name guys.
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Now, it does because of how personal it's getting.
Right.
And I'm sure with as good as Cena and Miz are, especially on the mic, as you said, I think they can do enough to push this and make this something big. I think they will save the match. I think I will be able to correct myself down the line and say underrated. But as of right now, overrated.
Okay. I'm cool with that. I ain't mad at you.
Right. That's a little Pac.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tupac's actually not dead.
No.
That's it. That was all.
Yeah. So one thing I wanted to bring up was this year's Hall of Fame inductees. so far, I think the list is really great. You know, they started with Kurt Angle, right? That was the first one?
The Olympic hero.
The Olympic hero. Now, okay, I'm not sure if you knew this. I think I may have posted this on the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
They're, you know, with Mick Foley having his hip surgery.
Right.
You know, there's, I guess there's a question of who will fill in for Raw GM. I think it would be great, awesome, if Kurt Angle was in that role. I think it would be awesome.
Well, you talk about...
And that would also make Raw better.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
That's what I'm saying. I couldn't have made a better point myself.
Yeah.
It would make Raw better. And Kurt Angle came out recently and said he has quite a few more matches left in him.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That alone hypes Raw back to at least compete with SmackDown.
Oh, for sure.
So, to at least compete. I don't think they're going to beat them for a while, but to at least compete.
I don't know. I think that's kind of up in the air. We'll see what happens if he does come on Raw and have a couple of matches or something. Right. You know, we'll see. Yeah.
No, I think it's all up in the air. It could change week to week.
Yeah.
Because Bleacher Report does a pretty good article each week. Who won the week? SmackDown or Raw? And they always do a pretty good article on that. I don't know if we're getting paid for the Bleacher Report plug, but we should. So we'll have to figure this out later on. I'll go to their headquarters in Chicago.
That's where it is?
I have no idea. Probably. Or maybe in Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta.
Everything's
somewhere.
in Atlanta.
Yeah. So Kurt Angle, I think he was the first one announced. And then the Rock and Roll Express.
Yes.
Which, I'll be honest, I don't know much about them.
I know, honestly, and I hate to say this because, you know, we are your host of the Double J Podplex. I don't know a whole hell of a lot about it either.
Right. I mean, you know, they've held titles.
Right.
You know,
right. Well, one thing I promise. On our next one before Mania, I will give a brief history on the Rock and Roll Express.
There you go.
So stay tuned.
Usually I'm the history buff of the two of us, but Jimmy might take over that next episode. And then we have Theodore Long. Which, you know, he's player. We have Theodore Long, player. You know, he's been in the business for a while, and he's, you know, very well respected guy.
He's a well respected guy.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
definitely cool with that.
Like you said, he's been around for a while, and it's almost seemingly a respect thing to put him in. Not even that he was that important in front of the screen.
Yeah.
As, you know, he was obviously extremely important, extremely vital behind the screen.
Yeah.
But it's more of a respect thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this next guy would kind of fall underneath the respect category. Not, you know, that's not including his wrestling career, is Diamond Dallas Page.
Man, it's me. It's me.
It's DDP, right?
It's DDP.
That's actually my wife's favorite wrestler.
I love DDP.
She loves DDP.
Absolutely, man. He's
and dude, what he's done for people personally.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Scott Hall, Jake Roberts. You know,
I'll save their lives.
He saved their lives.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, he's very well deservedly, you know, should be in the Hall of Fame for sure.
He does. DDP to me may go down as one of the most, since we did overrated, underrated, one of the most underrated of all time.
Yes.
Simply because I don't think WCW or WWE, or F at the time, knew what they had in him until it was almost too late.
Right. And see, DDP was one of those guys where once he kind of got big, he was pretty old. Not old, but, you know, he was up in age, you know?
Yeah, he was no spring chicken.
Right. So, but yeah, you know, definitely him. And then there's Beth Phoenix.
That's Mrs. Edge.
Mrs. Edge. Mrs. Adam Copeland.
Mrs. Adam Copeland. And Adam Copeland, if you're listening out there, buddy, we would love to have you on the show. Maybe you could, you know, help make me a better commentator. I know that's impossible because once you've
We already reek of awesomeness, so
we do reek of awesomeness.
But we could use a little more awesomeness from the Edger, you know.
We could always use that. We could, but you know, it is difficult when you reach the summit to look back down. You know, it's so we're at the summit.
We need some kazoos. We need some kazoos.
We do need some.
That's
kazoos.
what we need.
I don't know why we don't have kazoos.
We need kazoos.
Kazoos need to happen.
Yes.
Yo-Yo Ma.
Yo-Yo Ma. That's right. Another Seinfeld reference there.
And then
newly announced today, the Ravishing One, Rick Rude, is going to be in the Hall of Fame, which took forever. Took too long, if you ask me. But you know, he
long
was
time coming.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I was discussing with Jimmy earlier. I think he was one of the few people that was in the NWO and DX. I think the other two were X-Pac and Shawn Michaels. Because remember, Shawn Michaels joined the NWO when the NWO came to WWE. Remember that?
That's right. That's right. That's true. But yeah, I think Rick Rude was. Well, I know. He was the NWO while on WCW and Generation X while on WWE.
Right.
I think in that aspect, X-Pac would be the only other one that was like that. And that puts you in some very unique class, obviously.
Yeah.
Two of the, if not the two biggest factions ever in wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, or at least two of.
Yeah, but the Ravishing One, he's finally getting in. He was always known for his pre-match, you know, sayings, you know, like, you know, what I like to have right now is for all of you fat, out of shape, inner city sweat hogs, you know, that you know, it was classic, you know, sweat hogs, you know.
I believe that needs to be hashtag sweat hogs. That also seems like, I don't know if you remember, a couple years, 15 years ago or so, they had backyard sports. The little backyard football, basketball, stuff like that.
Wait, you mean like the computer games?
Yes.
My brother used to play...
Humongous Entertainment.
Dude, wait, my brother used to play the baseball one and the football one. All the time.
Oh, me too. By the way, a Humongous Entertainment plug on a wrestling podcast. Strap in, folks.
Strap in, folks.
The Sweat Hogs seems like they would be a team from the backyard football game.
Yeah.
You know, they may be. If I'm right about that, the first 10 callers win $1,000. And the first 4,000 callers win a free enameled pen. So
see, I don't have that wit you have, Jimmy. I can't spew at that kind of stuff. You know?
I don't have the wit I have either. So
see, there you go again, man.
Strap in, folks. It's going to be a long ride. Fastlane's over, but Double J Podplex will never end. One thing I do want to say. We were talking delete.
Yeah.
Let me bring up the fact, which I'm sure you're aware of, and I'm sure most of our listeners are aware of. All 10 of our listeners are aware.
All 10.
All 10. And we love you.
We do.
We
Absolutely.
love all 10 of you. Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero done with TNA.
Done with TNA.
And your new Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions.
Yep.
So what that means for WWE is still not yet known. But
correct.
How do you not bring them to Mania? It's in Orlando. They're doing a show in Orlando. They're not on a contract with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
If you could get some type of, you know, temporary contract for the Hardys to show up a couple of times, like they did with Goldberg,
right?
Like they did with, you know, many others before him, Sting, like you assume they're gonna do with Kurt Angle, just temporary, just to, you know, star power. Seeing them show up at Mania would break Twitter.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
The only thing to me, at least closing the broken thing, that needs to stay.
I agree. I think people tend to like that moniker they have going.
In many polls or many wrestling websites, that was the character of the year. You know,
Yeah.
What the thing is, as good as it was, that good because TNA actually got ratings because of it.
Yeah.
I think that was big. But you have to resist the urge if you're WWE to bring them back as the Hardy Boys, as you know, the what do they call it? Not Team Extreme. Maybe it was Team Extreme.
It was. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Like, don't bring them back as that. That was the young Hardys.
Yeah.
This is the older Hardys.
Right. The I guess matured quote unquote
mature
Hardys, you know?
And the moniker is perfect for
Yeah.
older guys. I think
Yeah.
that's perfect. So, if you're listening, please delete your way to WrestleMania 33.
Do it. Or at least on the Raw after. 'Cause
Yes.
that's the most Raw.
Well-
It's Raw.
It is, and I think, speaking of the Raw after WrestleMania, I think that's when Raw closes the gap between them and SmackDown, because you have the opportunity to bring in Kurt Angle, or you have the opportunity to bring in Shinsuke Nakamura,
Mhm.
finally, or someone we haven't mentioned. Maybe the rumors that was with the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega,
Mm-hmm.
months ago,
Right.
maybe they're really not squashed. Maybe there still is a possibility that
I'm
no one
sure
knows
there
about.
is. I'm sure there is.
You know, maybe all of a sudden, Omega's not coming to WWE. All of a sudden, there he is. Maybe they can actually keep something under wraps for once.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But, so that was that so far those are the Hall of Fame inductees. You know, and congrats to all of them. Actually something else, I'd like to mention. You know, I never really watched too much as a kid, but, George the Animal Steel,
Mm-hmm.
we had another wrestler unfortunately pass away. You know, he was known for his kind of wild, you know, just,
Oh, it's crazy.
and his green tongue, you know.
His green tongue, he used to eat the ring post.
Right,
Eat
that's
the
right.
stuffing.
Right.
He used to carry around a little stuffed bear
Yeah.
and eat the bear, which is any young kid's nightmare.
Right.
But, you know, it seems we too often have to talk about, especially on the show,
Mm-hmm.
wrestlers who have passed.
Yeah.
And, you know, life starts, life ends. But the memory, especially of George Animal Steel, will go on forever.
You're absolutely correct.
That was beautiful, by the way.
What?
Like, I teared up when I just said what I said.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
See, that's the pinnacle we're talking about.
Right.
But always remember, from the pinnacle to the
To the
pit.
pit. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. We're
So I can't be on this high forever. Eventually, I'm going back down.
That's right. That's right. I introduced Jimmy to the band Ghost. I love Ghost. We're kind of going off topic here, but
No,
that
Ghost is incredible.
yeah, that was just a little
Hell of a band.
yeah, a little band from Sweden.
Yeah.
But I introduced him to Ghost, and
We are Ghost.
we're the Ghost. Yeah. But yeah, we love Ghost, and you know, of course, not to get off topic here, but
Right.
that what he said from the pinnacle to the pit is a Ghost song, so he used that little reference there. But anyway,
Right.
but
right.
I think that about wraps it up for this edition of the Double J Podplex.
It about wraps it up. We got some warm hummus waiting for the two of us. Now we are serving hot plates at the door tonight. Remember, it's not a fee to get in, but you got to pay $10 to get out. In closing, one thing I would like to say, we really appreciate all of you listening. It is the reason we do this.
It is. Absolutely.
And if there's anything you dislike, anything you would like to hear, like, I don't know, maybe you want me to say, I don't know, some word that may sound cool in my voice, I will do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anything you would like, anything likes, dislikes, please let us know. We are humble enough to listen, or at least Jeremy is. But that you know, that's about it. I'm gonna lead out with, you know,
Woo! That's right. Give me 2 claps to the Ric Flair. But that does it for this episode. And, we're going to go ahead and do... We're going to try... Well, actually, I shouldn't say try. We plan on doing one more episode before Mania. Just to kind of discuss that and how awesome that'll be. I mean, WrestleMania doesn't really disappoint me. It shouldn't, at least. And that does it for us. And we'll see y'all guys next time. Thank you for listening. Later.